Hello, everyone. It's Mimi again from Mimi's Worms, and I've been having a lot of you ask me how to set up a wedge system. So this bin is a 4x8 bed, and what you do is you start at one end feeding your material, and you only feed, or you only start it with about, if it's a brand new bed, you want to start with about 6 to 8 inches. And then you're going to feed that until you build that bed up to the height of your bin. Then you want to start feeding this face here. So it goes into a slope. And then each time we feed, we start about right here where you see where it starts tapering off. And then that gives us all this surface area for your worms. And all the way down to here. And if you notice, when you're down here in this mud, that's where you're going to see a lot of worms. But you just keep feeding that until you're almost to the end like this one is. See, we're almost to the end. And then we'll go back and we'll harvest the castings out of that back end. See, just like this one, we're not quite to the end yet, but we're getting there. But you can see that that back end is already ready for us to start harvesting the castings out of. So it's very easy to set up. Like I said, you just keep feeding this slant to give your worms the surface area that they need. And they'll follow this food and it'll leave the cocoons behind. And then as they hatch, they will also move towards the food. So when we get like this one here, we will start feeding this end here pretty soon, and then we'll start going back in the other direction after we harvest this back end back here. We'll start down here and we'll work our way back. And you just keep doing that back and two. Our beds are established for the most part, so we start with a little more than 6 inches simply because we've got material to put back in them. But when you come down here, you look, this is all overs. And we do have rocks in them. Not that we really mean to, but it just gets, our supplies are out there on the ground, so we tend to get some rocks. But that's okay, because the worms love those to throw their cocoons. So as you can see, we will start right about here feeding this front face until we make it towards that end. And you can see this one's the same way. These are just some pieces of cardboard that we had around those gray bins, and we just let the worms finish it off. But there you have it, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. How to set up your wedge system.